Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy TGK. We got a special Midnight Mavness episode for you today, man. Obviously, as you know, the Dallas Mavericks, they're currently losing to the Charlotte Hornets 114-103. But that ain't stopping you, and that ain't stopping me. But tonight, we got a special guest, DFW Sports Rap, a.k.a. Drewski. We're about to get this started. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like early on. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Drewski's channel as well. Again, this is Midnight Mavness. Let's get it going. What's going on, Drewski? What's up, brother?
TGK, what it do, man? Special salute. Long time overdue. What is going down, man?
Yes, sir, man. Long time overdue. Appreciate you being here, man. Long time, you know, this has been overdue, I have to say so myself. It's been overdue for, go ahead.
Sooner or later, I got to get you on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, we do everything. But big shout out to you, man. Y'all hit that like button. Subscribe one time.
Yeah. Hey, man, appreciate it, man. Again, for those that don't know, now you know, this is DFW Sports Rap. He covers the Stars, covers the Rangers, covers the Cowboys, covers the Mavericks. Are we gonna cover the Wings too? Are we there? Are we covering the Wings?
There too, you know.
We're covering the Wings.
It was hard this year to cover them. Girls, man.
Are we covering FC Dallas? Are we covering FC Dallas?
It's been hard to cover them too, but as well, they playing right now. So, you know, we get live everywhere, bro. You know, we just try to represent from where we from. That's all it is.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you being on here, man. It means a lot.
Sure.
And yeah, we're about to get into it. We got a lot of things to talk about, right? A lot of things to talk about from the Mavericks. We could talk this is Midnight Mavness. We could talk about anything Sport Dallas related. We could even talk Luka. There's no gag order over here. We have the freedom to talk about anything we want to talk about. So, you know, but yeah, man. So before we even get started, I want to give you the floor and just ask you how you been, bro. How you been doing?
Man, everything been all right. Just been holding down the fort, you know, taking life every day by the moment. You know how us competitors be. You know, every day we get our moment. You know, just make the best of it and, you know, shine when it's necessary. You know, just being a father at the same time, baby girl growing up, you know, trying to hold, you know, his household and his relationship with his wife and all that type of stuff. Just maintaining the qualities of a man that's supposed to, you know, stand on solid ground. So, you know, doing that day by day. but at the same time, I just want to have fun and I just want to see another championship, mostly for the Cowboys. Somebody that's already won one, bring another championship, regardless it be the Mavs, Stars, or you know what I'm saying, Cowboys up in there. So, but
Man.
everything been good. How about you, man? Golf been treating you right, man?
My back is killing me right now. We played
you got that just like Tony Romo. He started playing all that golf and whatever, and back hurt.
Yeah, it did. And some days I play out of my mind where I'm like, oh, I'm about to shoot a low 90, and then other days I'm 107. It's just like, oh well. But it used to be 125, so there's improvement. Shaved about 20 or 30 strokes within a year of playing golf, so that's not bad. But yeah, man, just back hurting, but just staying on top of my game, right? Staying locked in, trying to get better every day, man. But I appreciate you once again. So,
yes,
you cover everything, bro. Do you mind telling the people where you grew up necessarily? Because I'm assuming DFW Sports, or you may have grew up in DFW. I ain't gonna assume what part, things like that. What part where you grew up, and then like how did you get into like the DFW Sports? Like what was your first team you loved? All that. Give us the whole thing right here, man.
Oh, so you want to get a rundown, man? Basically, this guy goes. He was born basically in Dallas, basically a little bit outside of the West Dallas, and then ended up spending a lot of time in his, time in Grand Prairie, basically in GP from the north side to the south side, and spend time with family because I moved around a lot as a youngster. Things ended up happening in life when he was young, but I moved around a lot. So moved around through parts of GP, moved around parts of outside of Arlington, close in Fort Worth, and some parts like that. So I got love for some things that's going on in Fort Worth, but from that Irvin on down to GP Road, everything has been good, and then dip over to Arlington, close to Fort Worth. That's a good main reach right there. My favorite team growing up, me being a late 80s baby, so I know I look young, but I got that age where it's like, nah, I remember I was young when the Cowboys started in the early 90s, but then when their last championship hit, I vividly remember that. And that's how that's been the last one. The Dallas Stars, hockey is me. When I was growing up, hockey wasn't like that. I would say per se, Mike Madonna was that dude. But 99, when the Stars came through and they won it, it was just like everybody wanted to start rollerblading, started wanting to skate all the time because the Stars were good. And they went back to the, Stanley Cup Finals the next year, but they fell short. But that was a good time that hockey kind of got introduced to me, where it was like, okay, y'all actually good. Y'all won some. So that happened there. And then, of course, the Mavs. My favorite sport is football. Me being born in September, that's kind of how I'd attach it to. So football has always been my thing. I can watch all football and not just the Cowboys. I can watch everybody. But like when it comes to the NBA, I really could care less. I'm going to just watch the Mavericks. When it comes to hockey, I could really care less, but I'm going to watch the Dallas Stars. When it comes to baseball, I could really care less, but I'm going to watch the Texas Rangers. You know what I'm saying? So, growing up that way, seeing the Stars come through, and then of course Dirk, Nash, when they had Van Exel at first, Finley, that whole combination was like, bro, basketball was lit. Now, me personally, Allen Iverson, just identifying with him was my favorite basketball player coming up. But of course, when Dirk, Nash, and Finley and Van Exel first had that turn, and then here came Jet and Marquise Daniels and all them, Avery Johnson. That whole little run through there, was something special. And then Dirk became the guy. The Texas Rangers, it's just a summertime event. Being a youngster, you know what I'm saying? The Boys and Girls Club, when that was a thing back then, we used to, they'll take us to the Rangers game or stuff like that. So that's how he became a Rangers fan. And, 2010, 2011 was good years.
Yep.
They finally came through in 2023, and that was like, that's something I will forever cherish now. They just back in the cellar, but
I know,
man. It's been fun. It's been fun though. And I started basically doing my channel about covering all of it. 2022 when, the Mavs went on their first Western Conference Finals run. So it's always been in my thing to talk sports, and he loved playing all sports when he grew up. So that's how it is. So when people look at me like, you watch hockey? No, I watch the Dallas Stars. There's a difference. I don't just watch all but I'm watching the Dallas Stars like they own right now, and I'm like, nah, this is like really a thing for me. I really mess with the Stars on a tough level though. So
yeah. No, you can tell just by the the layout you got. It's dope back there. Like you got all the gear, you got all the paraphernalia. I guess that's the right all the merch. Let's just say that all the merch for
he opened the closet, and the jerseys and all the shirts they buy season, so they all up in there too. I mean, I could open it, but it's all good. We about to talk some Mavs. I know that's what you want to get into for sure.
Yeah, we gonna get into that and much more, man. But that's dope, man. I mean, when it comes to creating content, when you try to find quote unquote like that one thing you want to talk about or say that niche, whatever the case may be, it's tough, especially when it's like when you're doing content for just a city, right, or a town. But thankfully, we have hella teams that we could talk about. But yeah, man, this is Midnight Mavness, and we're gonna talk Mavs. And how much of the game did you get to watch tonight?
I basically got to watch the whole game. So I basically been sitting here watching the game. I think a little bit before halftime, it was about a little 2-minute break that I took in between that before they went to the halftime. But you got to see a good little portion of it. I mean, they made the score look respectable in the end, but it wasn't really I just think it was one of those nights where, bro, I don't know what Melo got going on, but that is the ugliest 3-point shot I have ever seen in my life, bro. Like, be real. But them boys was shooting them out at the gym today, bro. And I just think that's kind of what they ran into. But your boy Cooper Flagg, nah, bro.
Well, let me break down the stats. So the Mavs lose tonight, 120-116 to the Charlotte Hornets. I guess the leaders on the Hornet side, LaMelo with 20 points, Bridges with 20. As far as the Mavs are concerned, Klay Thompson had 14, game high 14. And then Cooper Flagg had 11, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. And there's a glaring plus minus on the team today. Anthony Davis, minus 24, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover in 24 minutes. So
shooting too many damn threes, man. I don't know why we shooting threes with him. Don't do that.
We attempted 27 threes tonight. The Mavericks shot 37% from the three. I wonder what it was before the bench unit got in, and then the Hornets shot 41% from 3.
Bro, they shot him out the gym, bro. Melo and Bridges was just on one.
They were just killing it, man.
Yeah.
So the one thing that, here's the thing with preseason, because the previous game, everyone overhyped it and they went crazy. And I just said, this is a mistake people do in preseasons. You overhype something, and I already know what's going to happen in the next game. They're not going to play to that standard because it is a preseason, and then it's going to be overreaction the other way. So it's tough to kind of gauge what they do. So you have to kind of just select the good moments and stick with that, right? So, for example, Cooper Flagg had 5 turnovers, but did that ever come to mind, during the game? No. You were looking at that little behind the back dribble, pull up, jumper, the things of that sort, right? So for me, what I left with this game is that in certain moments that Cooper Flagg could get his own bucket. He can, depending on the type of defender. And when he pulls up, it looks really nice. And his 3-point shot in how would I say in motion? I forget the damn term. I don't know why I'm forgetting the term, but basically as he's like walking into a 3-point shot, it looks really nice. But those were the real things that stuck out to me. PJ Washington played great when he came off the bench. Things of that sort, Najee as well. Well, what was the main thing that stood out to you in this game, bro?
My main thing that stood out is, you know what? It might not be a bad idea to make Cooper Flagg be the point general. That might not be a bad idea. He actually got the talent around him. Dare I said it, and I had to stop myself when I was on live the other time. I'm like, you know what? You give him some time, and he's around a loaded. With him basically being around a loaded roster, figuring that out, I don't even, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. But I think him distributing the offense really, it's not even about shot making, but he's with his size, bruh. People would say Luka, people would say LeBron. I wish I was around to see Magic play. And to me, he kind of got that feel where, because his defense is there, he don't mind getting in the passing lanes.
Mm-hmm.
He don't mind switching, getting gritty. Like, he loves ball like that. And that's kind of how Magic was. And then you kind of see the flair with it at the same time. I'm like, you know what? With his size, and if he's actually able to handle the rock and actually able to find guys like that, and with how big they are, the lob threat is like, I mean, yeah, man, I'm not saying I don't want to put that on his shoulders, but the skill set, and with Jason Kidd being a Hall of Fame point general, that's not a bad guy to learn up under. But that's the one thing I take from it. Of course, I've always went, I've gave you comment on your, your live streams, bruh. Their size is gonna be what it is. Y'all just gonna have to make teams. Y'all gonna have to make teams either adjust to y'all or, you know what I'm saying, basically beat y'all, with y'all, on size or whatever. But that's just what they're gonna have to bank on. They're just gonna have to use it right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think, because for the most part, I'm big on having like that A1 player on your team lead the team, like a Luka, regardless of how people feel about that. But when you don't have that, who is your go-to guy, right? And we don't have a go-to guy right now. Kyrie would be that go-to guy for offensive purposes.
Yeah.
So who's our go-to guy now? It's not, we can't say it's Cooper Flagg right now. It's too soon. Can't say AD because it's just not. I don't think that's who he is. Clay is not that. So you know who the go-to guy is? The Dallas Mavericks size. They have to use their size. They can't be one player. They literally have to play offense by committee. You know the term running back by committee. This is offense by committee because they don't have that number one go-to guy, and it's okay because what they have that other teams do not is sheer size. And if they get crazy,
depth.
Yes.
And depth.
Yep. And if they can, if there was one play today where Derek Lively had the ball top of the key, and he's like faking into Flagg and hands it off to I think PJ, and then PJ kicks it back out to give it back to PJ, and like LaMelo's on him, and they did all of this movement to create a LaMelo on PJ Washington mismatch. That's what I mean by size is. Someone's going to have to cover somebody through all these picks and pick and rolls and all that. And whenever you get the mismatch, just dump it to them. And then that's going to be your bread and butter for the Mavericks. That's how I look at it.
I took some things and I just saw how they were able to play passing lanes at the time, how they were able to get steals. And when they were able to get steals in transition with their size, it's like throwing a Randy Moss jump ball. Basically, okay, if somebody's down there, just throw it up there because we got the size. We should at least be able to get it, force an and one or whatever the situation is. Transition will be very, very, very crucial to this team, I think, going forward. But with the depth that they have, if they, it's all about health, but they might not have the superstar, but they got the pieces and they're deep with it. That makes complementary team play. And that's what in all team sports. If you get a team that complements each other real good, you got a shot. It's just about not beating yourself. And if the other team can adjust. But I just think the Mavericks, once they can get Kyrie back, it goes off. But I think Jason Kidd, you had Luka, which I think did a disservice if you're a head coach because Luka is Luka. You need to coach him, but how do you coach him? You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, because Luka got to be Luka. It's kind of like Iverson was. Larry Brown couldn't stand it, but you got to let the answer be the answer. You know what I'm saying? You got to let him do his thing. So it's an experiment with Cooper Flagg. I think it's a waste to have him sitting there at the 4 or whatever and just trying to play. If he's athletic enough, why not let him, be a size advantage basically against you? Keep that going because Luka had size advantage against the guards. You keep that going, and now everybody else is bigger around you. Come on, man.
Yeah. The one, all right, devil's advocate now, right? Let's tag him in. Devil's advocate, let's go. The few things that I did see that does, have some concern for me is there were some situations where they didn't have a point guard out there necessarily, or someone that can handle the rock like that. And they got very stagnant. And I think they had like 13-0 runs or 10-0 runs against them because they couldn't score. And then defensively, they couldn't get a stop. And obviously, I think they gave up almost 100 points within 3 quarters. And the starters, for the most part, played most of all 3 quarters. So if people might take that, as a negative, but, if we're pointing out the positives, the negatives are, so this offense did get a little bit stagnant throughout the night. And especially when AD was in there initially. But, what do you think? Like, how do you think? I mean, all right, let me throw this out there. Brandon Williams was not active tonight, and maybe that was that could have been our second point guard that could have been on the court tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But without having that other point guard, it did get stagnant, and the fact that you have to start an offensive possession with Lively at the top of the key and then to initiate the offense, I don't know how that would work necessarily against a good team. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
I just don't know the success rate of that.
I totally agree. I think what really felt the Mavericks today, they missed a lot of floaters. Najee missed a lot of floaters. D'Lo missed some floaters. They missed a lot of shots at the rim. And with their size, that's what they're banking on, that they basically are very efficient within that inside paint, that mid-range game, where that's where they got to be efficient. And that I just saw them miss a lot of shots right there that could have stopped those runs that was going on. And that's kind of what fed the momentum that was going on. I mean, but you give credit to where Charlotte did. They took advantage of it and they hit their shots. But I just think the Mavs, they make a little bit more of those inside shots like they normally do, then that's good. What I didn't like that concerns me, especially being negative, they got out rebounded 64-45. With this being all that size, that can't be happening. No.
Let me see that.
No. That can't be happening.
Yeah. Wow.
You got crushed on the boards. That's a no. That's very concerning for me right there. But what is positive, they did get 30 assists, so they are playing with each other. No.
No, I get you. You good.
You know how the generation be doing. But at the same time, I mean, they shot 51% from the field. Had they not missed those bunnies, I think they're looking at over 55% for the game. That's actually good. They just missed too many floaties, and I just think whatever Melo and them was on coming down here, it was on for them because, him and Bridge. I mean, I am concerned because they did give up all starting figures, gave up double figures. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All 5 of their guys got double figures, and I'm like, damn, what's the team defense? But I'm looking at it. Y'all got out rebounded. What? Yeah, you said 64-45. That's a no, sir.
Yeah,
that's a no.
Take a look at this. They had let me try to make this a bit bigger here. So they had 16 steals and 7 blocks, and they still lost. I mean, obviously the fourth quarter didn't matter, but they were losing the entire game, even with all of these defensive statistics. They did get a lot of steals, that's for sure. They get a lot of blocks, but man, that's insane.
To me, that's where they kind of lost the game. They lost the game on the glass, and they just missed a lot of floaters. To me, that's what it was in a nutshell. I think they stopped some of those runs, but damn, y'all getting worked on the glass with the size y'all got, that is unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And like you say with Anthony Davis, boy, your hefty ass out there looking slow, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, let me ask you about that.
I'm calling it real.
Well, what did you think when about the AD weight whole saga or conspiracy out there? I try to give him a pass, some grace that it was like the eye surgery. But then when he came out and said he comes into the season overweight, like the way he said it, I was like, okay, now that changes things. What were your thoughts on that, the entire ordeal?
That was the worst thing he could have ever said. I come in and I mean, for a dude who's been hurt a lot, for you to come out and say that is basically what it I will put it to you this way. Anybody who was talking mess about Luka, about him coming in and out of shape, you should have that same energy about AD doing the same way. Nah, bro, we didn't just trade away a franchise guy for you to be semi doing the same thing. Now, if you're sitting here saying the prescription and you had to, you was taking medication and you had to do certain, okay, I can get that. You know what I'm saying? But that's for you to come out and say I'll be overweight so I can play myself in the shape like Shaq used to do. You see Shaq, had he took care of himself, he would have been damn near considered the greatest player of all time, but you didn't, and your body broke down. You always in street clothes for a reason. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that, bro. I don't, the competitor in me is like, come on, bro. You could have said anything, just been like, I'm gonna play my way into shape. I would respect that more than anything to say I do this because what you gaining weight for? Like, really, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the one to throw stones in a glass house, but I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. Like, we trying to, a lot is riding on this. Nico, if you was hot on Luka about doing it, you need to be hot on AD about this. Like, look here, man. I'm out here, I'm getting rung up every day out here, and you out here doing this. Come on, man.
Yeah, it would have been better if he came out and said, well, I had an eye surgery, I couldn't do no activities. That's the grace I was giving him. I had no other reason why he would come into the season with 15 pounds heavier. Like,
what? Now I see why your body can't hold together. Shoot.
And I know I ain't one to talk, but he's a professional, and unfortunately, because of the climate we're in, everything is like on a whole nother level. Looks like SRV going night. Good night, SRV. Appreciate you stopping by, brother. But yeah, man, it's So let me ask you, because I obviously we have not had this conversation.
Yeah.
But I want to keep it short because I don't want to piss people off because people get mad at this topic here. But when the trade happened, where were you? When did you find out? And what was your reaction in general?
So, bro, that Saturday, I had just got through finished watching David Benavidez fight. I forgot who he fought, but it was a good fight. You know what I'm saying? And me and my brothers, we were all texting, but that fight had just like ended. And I'm like, damn, you know how fights been doing lately. It was about 11:30. It was all late and everything. And then my brother hit me up the same. It was so deja vu like because he hit me up the same way when Kobe died. He was like, bro, Kobe died. And I'm like, Kobe who? And then when he texted and said, bro, Luka got traded. Luka who? Man, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised. And
really?
when I say not surprised, because I did a live the next day and I was like, I don't like the trade, but for some reason, and me and my brothers can attest to this. We done spoke on this. We done talked about it live. When Mark Cuban sold the team, verbatim, we had this conversation. When Mark Cuban sold the team, and I was like, he sold it to rich folk and not non-basketball folk. I was like, watch, they gonna mess this up. They gonna mess this up. Now, I never thought that they would trade Luka. I thought they would force Luka out, where Luka would be like, you know what, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. But I didn't think they would trade him. But I had a feeling they would mess this up. I really had that feeling. So when it happened, it was like, I'm shocked, but it's like, bro, I knew these motherfuckers was gonna do something. But even though I thought they would muck it up, I didn't think they would go to that extreme to do that. And the way they went about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, fam, like, of course, for me, I don't, there's no Luka slander that has ever came from me because I've enjoyed that last finals run. I'm glad I actually got to witness a lot of those games going, personally. Like, who would have ever thought that, that would happen? But I'm going to just be honest with you. The days of the days of the players really staying with one team, those are basically non-existent, bro. To either their expense or not, you know what I'm saying? Either their way or no way. It's just rare that's gonna happen. Like Steph Curry might be the last one. Him,
Yeah.
Giannis, maybe Jokic. I don't even know about Giannis and Jokic, but Steph, he might be the last one.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's just, for some reason I felt like maybe it could have been different, right, with Luka, but that's crazy that the way you found out. Bro, I was live doing the Midnight Mavness when it broke.
Worse.
And normally I do these for an hour and a half maybe. Bro, I was on for 4.5 hours, I believe.
You went all the way into the morning, basically.
Yep,
you didn't get no sleep. You had bags under your eyes and everything.
Yeah, man. I was calling everybody. I had slightly on at 3 a.m. and
boy, I thought Shams was hacked. I think that was the main trending thing. Like, everybody looked him up to be like, bro, somebody hacked the hell out of him, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Didn't get that confirmation, boy. It was
it was nuts, man. But then, that trade happens. We go through all of that. We struggle as a fan base. And I can't clearly consider myself like a diehard Mavs fan like I used to be, but I can consider myself a fan of the players and a fan of Cooper Flagg. I'm really a fan of Cooper Flagg. When you got a talent like that in your city, you can't ignore it. You really can't ignore it. So, but what did you think of the draft? Like, were you watching it live, and did you see how the Mavericks were still trending upwards and they ended up getting that pick? Where were you at when that happened? Because where was I at? I think I was out and about playing. I was probably hooping that night or something like that. Where were you at when that happened?
I was at the crib. I was getting home a little bit late off work and all that type stuff. And I got to the crib and I cut that thing on. And when I cut it on, bro, and I saw when I looked up there and I was like, bro, why is the Mavs sitting there at 4? Like, why do I see? How the hell y'all even get there? Right when that happened, I was like, bro, let's be real. Y'all, when they got into the top 4, I was like, okay, they're not going to get the number 1, but now they got to pick where they got assets to trade and da-da-da-da-da-da. Once they got to number 2, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, for real? This fed into the whole, it made me feel like, bro, I don't know why Dallas had to be the team, but Dallas had to be the team. I don't like conspiracies, but it's like, bro, you don't trade Luka, but how did you trade him to the Lakers? They had the least to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. That's where it don't make no sense. Like, now, in fairness, or devil's advocate, if people don't like Nico, now, if he sent them to a worse spot that gave him more stuff coming back in, I think that can kind of ruin Luka. But sending him to the Lakers was probably, and I said this the next day going live, sending him to the Lakers was probably the best thing that could ever happen to him, because I think Luka really, fair or unfair, this is kind of going against him. Now, you can be the best employee and do the best things for your company that all times you can do, but if they sell the company and it's a new management that come in, they don't got no ties to you like that. So, though you're the biggest fish in the small pond, Dallas is really a big pond, but don't nobody look at the Mavericks like that for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? But you go to LA, you're not. It's a bigger body of water. You know what I'm saying? Their expectations is different. With Luka, this was more family like. Now, when you go to LA, this is like corporate like. Nah, bro, you got to be on about your business. Us, we'd be pissed off if we flame out or whatever and all that. But you good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You still come to the cookouts and all that type of stuff. But when that happened, bro, and then the way it happened, and then it's like you got AD. Okay, yeah, but nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that couldn't have been what you did. And I didn't know who the hell Max Christie was. I was like, bruh, who is that?
They call him Baby Kobe.
Why? Why would you even do that? If you
bro.
would do that for a guy that I haven't seen play. Now, I don't watch the rest of the NBA like that, but if he's baby Kobe, he would have been introduced in some type of form. You know what I'm saying? That he would have been known about.
Yeah, they call him baby Kobe, man. I don't know. I haven't seen Kobe yet. I saw maybe Rajah Bell or something. That's probably what I've seen.
And Rajah Bell wasn't a bad player though.
Sylvester wants to be part of the stream right now. No, Rajah Bell's a dope player, but honestly, if he did pan out to be Rajah Bell, that's pretty good too for the Mavs. But I ain't gonna lie, I felt like that lottery, everything about the trade, the lottery was so rigged. Like I was conflicted because Nico nor the Mavericks organization deserved to get Cooper Flagg. They didn't deserve it. The Mavs fans did. The city of Dallas does. But it was just because Nico was there. It's been really hard for me, and I've had to compartmentalize my fandom versus my hatred for a GM, and so it's just like here it is, right? Like this is what it is. Like it's butting heads at the whole time. But no, man, I'm excited to watch Cooper Flagg this season, and I just think the expectations are becoming a little too high for him. Like I think we need to let the kid be a rookie. I think we need to let the kid develop. I think we need to let the kid figure out what he is going to eventually be, because what you see now is not going to be what you see in 5 years. This man's going to be on a whole different level in 5 years. So give the man time, man. Let him figure out his role. Let him grow into his body, because he's still growing. That's the thing. He's 18, dog. He's still got 3 more years. He might be 7 feet by the time we're done with all this.
All I know is, that dude remind me of rec basketball, bro. Like his energy be out there. He can do a lot of different things for you on no matter who's on his team. His game just fits with whoever, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I believe he really has going for him. And all he got to do is just stay hungry. That's really all he has to do, is just act like you don't arrive. You haven't arrived. Now, Dallas will make you feel like that, but maybe the media might not. But I don't know. Him being a new guy, it could be different. But his team gonna make the confidence. I'll say this: if Cooper Flagg comes out and he's showing, he's capable of doing a lot of things, that's just gonna make the Mavericks better. It's just icing on the cake, But I agree with you. I know. And to be honest with you, I was in conflicted states because I'm going to go hard for the Mavericks because, like I said, this is just a place where he grew up. So it's just been childhood things. So it's like I'm brainwashed. I'm institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? I'm doctrinized. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just what it is with me. So I had a lot of struggle with just the crowd environment. Now,
like were you for the fire Nico crowd, or were you against the fire Nico crowd?
I'm not against people yelling fire Nico. I just didn't like it how we were at the free throw. That to me did bother me. But as the season went on, it was just one of those situations where, look, you can't really corral it.
Yeah.
I get it that it's really not toward the players. That's kind of where I started backing off. Because to me, doing that at the free throw line, I felt like that's like disrespecting the players while they're trying to, you know what I'm saying, have focus and do some stuff. So I felt some type of way. But as it kept going and growing, it was like, bro, they just don't like Nico. I don't think this has anything to do with the play. It just won't be no peace long as Nico is around. So I just wrap my head around that, and I'm like, you know what, bro? Y'all feel how y'all feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's nothing too much that he could even say about it. So
it got so controversial, and one of my buddies, the Fire Nico guy, the one that had the hat and everything, he caught a wave with everything, and and I think mainly it was because we're defending Luka because of all the negativity that was coming out, because nobody was speaking for him, when they were saying, oh, there's going to be a catastrophic injury, or he's overweight, doesn't play defense, all that. It's just like, bro, it's in the city of Dallas. We are for, I would say, the Mavericks had history, but Dirk honestly is that shining pillar of what the Mavericks are. And based on what we built with Dirk and Mavs fan for life and all that, that was what our identity was. And whenever Dirk passed the baton to Luka, and then Luka pushed it forward, and now that's our guy. We riding with him, and to have someone that kind of came from the outside come in and do that, that's for me. Lifelong fan, grew up in Pleasant Grove. Lifelong fan. Basketball was my
what it do?
Basketball was my first love. First love, man. That was my natural high. I never got into drugs because of basketball, and it was all around me. Trust me. And we had we had the cheese epidemic going in Pleasant Grove. And I stayed away from all that because of basketball and the Mavericks. And so my love for them is on a whole nother level. Was my favorite team in all of DFW, but for that to then happen, it hurt me more than anything, because I didn't only just lose Luka. I lost the Dallas Mavericks. It was a double whammy for me. Other people just lost Luka and they're still fans, so they're able to kind of deal with the pain or the agony. Bro, I got hit on both sides. It's just how do you deal with that, right? So this is why I'm at the way I'm at. But all that to say, now we have Cooper Flagg. Now for you, what are your expectations for Cooper Flagg this season?
Oh, my expectation is, bruh. I'm really trying to figure out what we're gonna use him as. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he's gonna be able to damn near play every position, bro. But what is it gonna be more comfortable at? For me, it would just, my expectation for him is to soak up all the game from everybody around him, but damn sure from Jason Kidd, bro. I just think I think he got good basketball IQ and he got great hustle. So for him, my expectation is, he's gonna have an all-around game to win Rookie of the Year. Let's just be true. And if the Mavericks win enough games, I think that's gonna come to fruition. Be solid. I think he's gonna get a lot of steals. I think he'll have a lot of assists. Point wise, I don't even know. That's not a necessity, but it can help. It can be a bonus. You know what I'm saying? So I just look for him to contribute in whatever fashion. That's my expectation. If we need you to rebound, okay, we'll put you in that spot. If we need you to, guard or whatever we'll put you in that spot. If we need you to facilitate, we'll put you in that spot. If we want to, run pick and roll, get your offense, we can do that. Just be very flexible. You know what I'm saying? If that's my expectation, just be flexible and we'll figure this out as it goes along, because I think you can do multiple things, and that's not me trying to say I'm putting a lot of expectation on him, but Jason Kidd likes running that positionless offense, flow offense type thing. I think I called him almost Golden Flag. Cooper Flagg.
Yeah. Golden Flag. What are you thinking? Football? You thinking football or what?
I don't know what it is, bro, but
that's a cool name, though. That is a cool name, though. I think we just figured it out, because people have been talking about what is his nickname? The Golden Flag?
Hey, shoot.
Might be it, bro.
It almost, and like I said, it's hard to figure out where's his position, but he might be the face of positionless basketball, like straight up. And I feel you on your fandom, bro, but you are coming from an era where that is totally different about, your favorite players being there, because, Laker fans seen Kobe for the whole time, San Antonio, now you kind of see how they felt about Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah, Kawhi Leonard.
Coming from Tim Duncan and all that, and Kawhi Leonard. San Antonio still hot at that boy, you know what I'm saying? But for us, we're hot at Nico because he made the move. It's about the same. So damn, Texas teams are just,
yeah,
in a rut.
It sucks, man, because now I don't have a team. I got players that I root for now, and obviously I'll naturally root for the Mavs because I will. But it's not as like as attached as it used to be. I will live and die with a win and loss in the regular season, going from 41-40 to 41-41. Like, damn, we're back to 500. You know, it was it's different now. It's different, but hey, that's what happens when your team becomes a corporate ran organization. The love grows apart because it's not family owned like it used to be, you know, and that's what it is. It kind of correlates to real life. The Mavericks went from being the thing that I could separate real life from, and now it's
you treat it like business.
Now it's a business. It literally is.
That's kind of how I did with the Cowboys. Okay, Jerry, you don't give a damn. Okay, yeah, I might go to these games, but for me, it's about business. I'm getting the content. So
yeah, if you don't give a damn, we don't give.
Hey, talk about it straight up, dude.
Man,
that's how we rock it.
So tomorrow, right? The Cowboys playing the Panthers. Where they playing, in Carolina?
Yes, sir.
Man, what you got on that, man? I would just say right now, I think Dak is playing out of his mind. I've been very critical of Dak, and this is one of those years where I'm like, I can't even say, oh, that's a bad throw. Oh, this is a bad read. Nah, he has been accurate. He has been purposeful. Like, he has been, when he gets out of the pocket, he knows where he wants to go. Like, throwing darts, not to speak of darts, but from New York, you know, dart over there. But he has been throwing darts this season. Like, and without CD Lamb. So, well, how you feeling about tomorrow's game?
To me, I have to look back at the injury report, but you know, to do that, it was against the Jets. But I just think this coaching staff, I think what's helping Dak Prescott not only is I think Schottenheimer, him and Shotty are like what I say about Martin. They're here. Shotty has a feel of what Dak likes, and I just think it's just translating. But what's really helping them boys is Javonte Williams in that run game, bro. When you got a running back there where defense is like, all right, he might get that boy. We got to be ready. You know, that makes everything totally different. And we know what the problem is. It's this raggedy ass defense. You know, look, I went to the games after Luka left. It's a total different vibe there.
Is it?
It is a total different vibe. Michael Parsons got traded.
Right. The same vibe.
Especially on the defensive side. Because when Michael Parsons was a Dallas Cowboy and we were on defense, no, we made some noise. You knew something big could happen. Now, shoot, bro. It's like, can y'all just do something? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's their biggest problem. But tomorrow, this is the classic game where the Panthers will come out swinging, and if the Cowboys are not ready for a fight, if they don't realize they're going to be in a 60-minute fight, they'll realize it too late and they'll lose. And it'd be that typical game. But if the defense can just, you know, they're getting a little bit more bodies back, they're getting a little bit more healthy. If Eberflus can really figure out, you know, his linebacker situation, because I think that's what's hurting them. They can at least stop the run, and we can run the football. I think the offense is going to keep clicking. You know, the Cowboys should, you know, get this. But I think it's going to be a tough game. I honestly think it would be one of those tough noon games. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But, you know, here's another thing. I've had a tough relationship with the Cowboys because I don't know if you knew, but I used to do daily content on the Cowboys back then. I'll say between like, I think it was 2018 to 2019. And I was doing daily content. I was going against Mark Holmes. We had a little beef and all that. Like, we're going crazy. And I traveled to LA to watch the Cowboys versus the Rams in the Coliseum. Like, I always wanted to go to that stadium. It was that perfect opportunity. And I went out there. And every time, and I was very critical of Jerry Jones because he would just make the same mistake, sign a player late, wouldn't trade for a player or trade the wrong player, just constantly doing the same old. And I just felt like, all right, why am I watching this if they're not ever improving? Like, it's the same thing with Jason Garrett, this and that. Like, try to stop because my mental health was declining because of it, you know? And so And mind you, back then, I would shoot a video on my phone, right? Edit
and the
it.
phones weren't the phones the way they are now.
Right. I would edit it, upload it. And back then, editing on a phone took way longer. The upload took way longer. Nowadays, I can just get on the computer and just do a straight shoot and go. But man, but all that to say is like, this is the first time in maybe 3-4 years that I'm actually watching every game. Last year, I only saw 4 games. The year before, I only saw 2 games. Yeah. And then the year before that, I only saw 2 games. Like, I just haven't been watching them much ever since the Packers destroyed them. Like, that was it. Like, that was so demoralizing.
I mean, I was at that game, bro. And I mean, the day itself was brutal because it was like 19 degrees with the wind chill, and it was like 7 degrees. So it was freezing just to get in that boy. And I mean, the game was over before you even thawed out and got warm. And that was totally crazy, bro. And
no wonder the Packers played good.
Man, and then to take that walk back in that cold when it was colder.
Yeah, that
was brutal. But I mean, I'm kind of like that where, you know, when the Luka trade happened, it's like, bro, being a Cowboy fan, I've experienced pain. You know what I'm saying? This is, I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is in the city of Dallas, but we can only have nice things for not so long. But the whole Luka, if there was a beef between him and the new management, you know, I don't even know if that was the case. They just probably didn't want to pay him. Kind of like how I feel about. I think people want to take into account of, look, these are billionaires, they're rich. Bruh, they're rich because they are the cheapest people. Y'all know that, right?
Right.
Y'all do know that. They are the richest because they are the cheapest people.
You don't get rich by spending a lot of money, all right?
I'm just trying to tell you. So I think a lot of people are penny pinching. But at the same time, the way the climate is and the economic is and all that, it's hard to kind of do that stuff. Now, for the Mavericks to still be charging the price that they're charging to go to them games, hold on. Even I will say the Cowboy games have gotten a little bit cheaper. They have got a little bit more affordable coming down here this stretch. But I'm looking at the Mavericks tickets. I'm like, bro,
let me see something. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Let's do a little check here. So opening night. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to like blame them for opening night. I assume opening night is going to be expensive. Let's say 2 seats. Let's say me and Drewski rolling. The cheapest seat is $76. That's too much, bro. For nosebleed.
In the nosebleeds.
Nosebleed of all places. Nah, dog. That is crazy. $242 for lower bowl. That one's not bad.
But that's still a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, $204. That one's not bad. I mean, I'm not spending, bro. Back then, I could spend $200 for a suite. Back in the day.
You see what I'm saying? That's basically what he's getting to. I'm like, nah, bro. Wait a minute. You ain't gonna bamboozle me like that, bro.
Let's see Wizards. Let's see how cheap these are.
That should be a good.
Damn, like we should have $15 seats. There's no $15 seats. 40, 35, bro. Ah, dog.
Yeah, bro. That's kind of where I'm like, bro.
Nah, bro. I need my $15 seats. All right, let's see. Raptors, right? 2 seats. 54. Bro, since when, bro? 27. 27 is not bad. I'll say that. Nah, man. Cause then you have to factor in all of the fees and all the charges, and then you're at $80 for a nosebleed. Like,
I ain't going.
Let me see. Hold on. Let's investigate some more. Let's pull up the Dallas.
Then you got to play parking. Shoot, you don't forget about parking. Parking about 35 minimum. 35.
I got to show you the trick I got for parking. All right, see, look, 22, 23, 24, 24, 23 for the Stars. And at least the Stars have tickets in the $20 range. And then the lower bowl, you get one for $100 to get in the lower bowl.
Bro, Stars games be lit, bro. I advise a lot of people to go to y'all. I advise a lot of people to go to them. You know what I'm saying? They be lit. Now, I will tell you, you better put some damn clothes on. If you're a warm a climate kind of person like me, you better pack you some clothes on in there because it's gonna be cold.
So let's see next week for the Cowboys versus the Commanders. Yeah, I mean, if I 34 for standing room, I can't do standing room. I'm too old now. 131 for the nosebleed. I mean, I think 75 for the nosebleeds that the Cowboys would have been fine, but 100, that's a lot too. Yeah. But 115 is not bad. You know,
they used to be higher is what I'm saying. So I'm like, nah, he done kind of came down on the nosebleed season. To be in that stadium, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really not a bad seat in the house just because that screen is so big. You know what I'm saying? But it's really not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah, you're there just for the atmosphere at the end of the day.
And the content, that's basically it's business. I done put my emotions aside because if I leave my emotions in it, I'm gonna be heartbroken, and I'm gonna, that leads to trouble. You know what I'm saying? So
let me know, man, before we head on out, because I normally do an hour of these. I don't want to keep you too long, and then it'd be midnight. It's Midnight Mavness, but it doesn't mean we go all the way to midnight. But what would you say is your hot take that other people look at you crazy like, damn, what the hell for the Mavericks this upcoming season? It could be any player. You could tell like, oh, they're going to score this much per game, or they're going to get this far in the playoffs. Like, what would be your hot take, or not even a hot take? It's just your flat out prediction.
So, like the NFL do, my bold prediction for the Mavs season, huh? Okay. I'm gonna go on a bold prediction here.
Okay.
This is gonna be funny. I don't even take myself serious, but I'm gonna be real with you. Until Kyrie comes back, this will just be a team figuring out itself how it goes. But this is what I'm gonna, bro. I can't even say it seriously. I can't even say it seriously. Anthony Davis will play over 70% of Mavs games this season. That's my bold take.
Over 70%. What is that? What is 70% of 82? 70% of. Let's see. I'm not. 57 games. So you're saying 57? He's gonna play 57 games.
That's a bold take.
That is like, that's a poll. Let me post this as a.
Hey, that's my outlandish take. That'll get some feed, you know what I'm saying? They'll get at least some traffic coming in, some comments, you know what I'm saying?
AD over under.
No, there's no way in hell he's gonna do that. But that's all I got, because I think Flagg will be rookie of the year. But if I had to go bold, I think AD plays majority of the season. If they're gonna want to move forward, he's gonna have to play by what? 50? What'd you say? 57%? You're gonna have to do that.
57 games. Yeah. So here's my thing. I've been saying this from the get-go. I think the Maverick season depends on two people, on Anthony Davis and Derek Lively. Derek Lively is injury prone as F. I don't care what anybody say. That man is injury prone. He only played like 34 games last season. He only played 50 plus games the previous season. That's injury prone. And then AD, can you be available? For me, I think if he could be available for 60 games, I think you could get a top 6 seed, maybe. But if he plays for 65, then I feel a lot more comfortable. But
you see, I gave him a little leeway. I said he said 57.
I think 57 is it might be right there. I think it might be good enough. But Derek Lively's got to play by 55 games. You know,
Facts.
like it's
you're already down Gafford too, so it's like, dang.
Yeah.
Hold up.
I think Cooper Flagg, whatever he does this season, is going to be great. It's going to be good. I think him and Ace, was it Ace from the Utah Jazz? I think he's going to be competing with him for Rookie of the Year. I think Ace Bailey's going to put up some numbers, like some numbers you really can't, like damn, he's already putting up 20. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I do think that the Maverick season really rides on Anthony Davis availability along
with Derek Lively.
Yeah, along with Derek Lively. And I think it's Anthony Davis availability over his ability. I think that's really what it's going to come down to.
You give me 57 games. I think now what he say 60 games. I like plus, but you know what? You give me 57, shoot, that be more than what you probably done did. What the last few seasons?
Yeah, no, that would be. That would be say. Ronnie says, I say under 56 games, but I could also see 60 games. That's the hard part when it comes to this upcoming season, man. Is are they going to be available as opposed to how they were last year? You know, and
yeah,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. But yeah, Drewski, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you being here, man, and stopping by the show.
For sure, man. Let me play the favor one time when these Mavs get their season started. So, let me have you on DFW Sports Raps, man. For sure.
Yeah. If you don't mind telling the people where they can find you, what you do on the show, and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, DFW Sports Raps. That's Raps with a Z, man. Go ahead and put that in. Hit that like button, subscribe. As you see the decor in the background, we do everything for all DFW sports. And right now the Stars are in a shootout in overtime, so I'm going to be up a little bit late trying to see if they're going to win this one, you know what I'm saying? But as you see, got the Stars gear, whatever it is, we keep it in motion. Whatever season is going, we keep it in motion for the DFW teams. Find me there on DFW Sports Raps. I'm also on X at Drewski Selfmade. Man, follow me. I'll follow back. Let's keep this thing going, especially for all my people in the Metroplex, man.
Yeah, man. And apparently we neighbors, so we need to link up for a little
right down the street.
I'm saying
right down the street.
Right down the street, bro. But now, again, appreciate you being here. Hold on, I got a comment. Hold on. It said Ace Bailey is flag only competition because he's gonna have Spotlight to put up numbers. Definitely not Edgecombe, though he's like the 6th option in Philly. Yeah. Ace, watch out for Ace Bailey, man. He might be the new Kevin Durant. You got to look up some film, bro. He is nice. Once
I get deep into the basketball season, I get up in there for sure. See what we going up against for sure. But yeah, man.
I can't wait to get the season started though. It's gonna be interesting because I'm gonna be doing Luka live watch alongs and then Cooper Flagg watch alongs as well. So we're gonna be rooting for two of the guys, you know. But,
I got you. And then you give me a chance to catch up on Luka, so it's all good.
Yeah, man, I'm rooting for that guy. But hey, man, appreciate you once again. It's been your boy Drewski up in here on Midnight Mavness. We're about to sign off for the night. Again, next Saturday. Might have slightly biased next Saturday. I don't know. We'll see if we figure that out. But again, appreciate y'all. The link is in the description. You can follow DFW Sports Raps. You can check him out. Description right there. Follow him, like his channel, all that good stuff for all your DFW sports content. Again, appreciate you being here, brother. It's been your boy TGK. Catch y'all on the next one. We out.